Good afternoon. This is a match between the Moncton Hawks and the Dieppe Flyers. We now ask that everybody please stand, if you're able, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome to the game, folks. Game 2 for this weekend for your Moncton Hawks. Same matchup as they draw the Flyers. And their barn this time. Moncton in white, Flyers in black. Last game for both teams before the Ice Jam in Halifax next weekend. Both teams ready to go. Puck drop starts now. Flyers sending up the boards. Martin going to be first in on it, but going to call it an icing as it was a little bit too far ahead of the boys. Flyers able to get that back to the line. Kitchen throws that right towards the net, but Martin able to block it with the skate. Hawks get it in deep. That's wrapped around the boards. Flyers now try for the stretch pass. That's just off the mark. Big hit early. There's a chance for the Flyers now in front of the net as the puck's loose. Everybody's there, finally picked up and flicked away by Rayfuse. It's a flurry of action in front of the Hawks. Goaltender Richford. Stretch pass made to Bélanger. Bélanger walks across the line, stick checked right there by Gaudette. As the Flyers get that back in, that was offside. Last game, both teams went back and forth. Lots of penalties in the game, which sort of disturbed the flow of the game, but a lot of the havoc started with just getting those pucks to the net and loose rebounds. We'll see if that's the case here today again. Cormier now, he enters the zone. Shot from a sharp angle, right on. Goalie looks behind him. But that's whistled down. Jacob Robichaud for your Moncton Hawks still missing today as he's out with a minor injury as he rests up for the Ice Jam. That puck's picked up by the Flyers off the draw. 2-on-2 brewing up here. As that's clicked around. Robichaud looking for the pass. Centering pass, that is, but Cormier able to get back and disrupt that. That puck's chipped out of play, and we'll have a whistle outside. A couple notable players missing for the Flyers. Raph Gautreau still out with a shoulder injury. Jackson Steves out with an arm injury. And also Ian Day, who injured himself last night, missing from their lineup. So they'll be looking for some help and people to step up in their game. Flyers regain control outside as they try to get it in. Fournette puts his stick on that, sends it in deep. Goalie plays it again. We've seen last game goalies were out playing the puck an awful lot. And already LeBlanc has played the puck twice. DDD pass over to Millier. Millier fires that one through a bunch of bodies. There's a rebound. And that's picked up by Casey, but he doesn't get much wood on it. That one's right on. A little rebound there. That shot didn't get deflected towards the corner, but nobody in front to put that one away. Like we were mentioning earlier, these little rebounds in front of the net may be the key to the team's success here early. Four-man scramble behind the net. Finally dug out there by Arsenault. Tries the wraparound. And now chipped but not out. And that's sent in deep by Casey. They go for a line change. Richard sends it right back in. Rayfew's going to try to angle his man, get possession of that puck. He runs his man into the boards. Hawks doing a good job being physical early as bodies are flying everywhere here. That one's icing, so we'll go back the other way. Well, that shift was great for the Hawks there. As 3 big hits as they get involved early.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 50-50 winner was number 310. Our very own Nick Kitchen won the 50-50.
That one sent down the boards again. We'll have another icing. You just heard the 50-50 winner. That's Nick Kitchen as he works the clock.
If you're looking for a small loan, that's the man to see.
Father of Wyatt Kitchen. Me and Nick played together back in our days. Face off inside the Flyers zone. Flyers player being kicked out here. St. Clair, after that one works his way to the point, he sends it in deep. Flyers flick it out. St. Clair tries to get in front of it. He does. The Flyers trying to come out with it. That sneaks away, and Agnew makes the pass over to St. Clair. Almost gets picked off by Belanger, but they were offside, so they had to clear the zone regardless. Rayfuse has his shot blocked, and here come the Flyers with a head of steam, but Robinson able to get his stick on that. Slow that down. Both teams going for a change here. As Cormier works his man behind the net. He knocks his man off the puck and tries to get it back to the D, but it goes through everyone. And now with a man rushing on him. And a snow job. Are we going to get a penalty here, or are they going to let this one go? The goalie got snowed, but in the process moved his head out of the way. Cormier comes crashing down on him. Pushes him from behind. And it seems like it's just Cormier that's going to go, or is it both for the snow job? And the ref throws both of them to the box. Good job there. That's the kind of reffing I like to see there, Tony. Is he wasn't going to call anybody there, but once Cormier took the shot from behind, he called the snow and called the foul. And we stay with 5-on-5 as we try to keep the flow of this game going. Richford stops the puck behind the net. Guedette sends it up to Arsenault, but Arsenault couldn't get that on his backhand. Now the Flyers move in with some steam.
Number 15, Kobe Moncton. 2 minutes.
That's wrapped all the way around the boards. As Arsenault tries to chip it out the other side. He moves out of the way at the last second as Smith comes and hammers Dion of his own team. Casey now along the boards. He turns, sends it back in deep. Now it works its way out to the other side. Casey lays the body in. Now Gadet at the line sends it in deep. Casey in the corner as he waits for support. Boudreau's in there now. Flyers able to dig that out and come back the other way though. As Valet tries to work his magic. That's stripped, and now Arsenault coming back the other way. Tries to take a shot, but it goes off a shin pad. And just like that, Flyers come back the other way. And Richard was looking to level up his man. Now the Flyers work it out from the corner. Get it back up to the point. D-to-D pass through traffic, shot on. Deflection. Richford able to get the pad on it. Now in the corner, that's wrapped around. Arsenault sends it back to Richard. Richard tries to turn and evade his man. And Arsenault able to finally chip it out at the line. Zach Roy with the stretch pass off the mark. Millier's up in the mix there as he stays at the line to slow things down. Stretch pass up to McPherson, chips it in deep. And now McPherson sends it out. There's an open net and there's a goal. McPherson, great heads up as the goalie that time probably should have played the puck, but he didn't see McPherson coming in behind him. And McPherson with a heads up play to find Cornette Patterson out front. By the time the goalie could get back to the net, the puck was already to the back of the net. Flyers now enter the zone. Agnew tries to angle his man. Fournette tries to chip that out.
71.
He tries to get a little help by Cornette Patterson, but the puck's not out. Abel has to rush all the way over to the other side. Flyers do a good job keeping this puck in. They try to center it out front, but his man's tied up. Now Fournette's going to get a penalty as he was just trying to get his way to the puck, and now he takes an extra shot at Valles. They go back and forth. Fournette was just trying to get to that puck, but his man was standing him up in front of him, and he was just trying to go through him, and by pushing him down, they call a hold. The Flyers will go back on the power play. Gadet tries to clear the line. He does. He gets enough wood on that one just to clear it out, but Siri loses control, and that's sent back down the other way.
Fox penalty to number 91, Cedric Fournette, 2 minutes for holding. Down to the penalty, 13-17.
McPherson's down there trying to angle his man, the little Tasmanian devil. He's great at angling guys normally. That one's cleared out again. As the Hawks got to be careful here as everybody's going for a change. And Cadet takes a hit, but able to get that puck down the ice. So he takes one for the team to make sure that's in deep. Flyers now entering the zone in control, trying to send it through to the middle. Gadet able to clog that up. And now the puck bouncing back and forth. It goes up off a skate and out of play. Richard tries to fire that all the way around the ice, and he does. Dion now back for it for the Flyers. D-to-D pass. Martin, he bumps his man. Great job there by Rayfuse to get involved as well. Both Rayfuse and Martin now coming back into the zone, and Martin able to lay the body. He tries to kick that one out, but can't quite get it. Dion from the point, quick shot. Blockered by Richford to the corner. As Richard works it from the corner, now they try to walk out, quick shot, save, another rebound. Oh, Richford dives across with a glove save as he makes his biggest stop of the game.
Yeah, laid out for that one.
It seems like two players going to the box here as
More extracurricular activities getting penalized.
both for roughing as Millier and Melanson take a seat. So the Flyers will remain on the power play, 5-on-4 here for 30 more seconds.
The practice drills gonna get taken off the glass.
Far side of the glass, you can see the ref and the linesman taking down a few papers that seem to be taped up like Christmas presents. Finally discarded, and we're back to play here as the Flyers able to get possession off the draw. Now Boudreau trying to swing his stick. Great job there by Arsenault to knock his man off it. Now St. Clair behind the net. He tries to fire that around. That's not going to quite clear. So the Flyers still able to get control. Now out front, they try to kick it. Almost goes into the far post there as Richford had to be careful. And now St. Clair tries to fire it out, but he gets Arsenault, and Arsenault has Boudreau. Can he get it over to Boudreau? No, he works his way to the middle. Quick shot, deflected. Probably should have been a pass early. And Boudreau would have been off to the races. Either way, Hawks able to kill that first penalty of the game. That's sent in deep. It's going to be an icing call as that was about a foot too far. Kitchen now, he walks behind the net, sends it up the boards to his captain Siri, and now Smith elects to leave that pass as Hawks player came rumbling in on him. Arsenault gets a stretch pass. He moves it over to Boudreau, but it's a little bit behind him. He's taken down there as he tries to pick that out of his feet. Flyers move it up the ice, but right back in, Guedette sends it. There's Boudreau now trying to create a stir, and he lays the big boom behind the net. That one gets sent right back in deep. Hawks content with just putting it in deep and laying some hits. Cormier takes a step off that one as if he would have continued progress. There's another big hit by Kitchen on Fournette. Right back in it goes by Robinson. McPherson trying to get to it. And now behind Robinson. Tries to get behind Guedette as Robinson almost got burned there as he had his feet planted to the ice. There's a shot towards the net, rebound. And out front, but just off the stick, trying to look for a rebound. Lots of muckage in front of the net, but finally squirts its way to the right side. Now Agnew in, trying to hold that one in. McPherson backing him up, tries to get it in deep. And the Flyers do a good job finally getting it out, but Richard right back in. As the Hawks doing a great job making the D of the Flyers skating backwards, retreating pucks. Now Fournette tries to throw his body around. Puck sneaks over to the other side. Agnew keeps it in deep. Fournette now back to chase it as he lays his man to the boards. McPherson in there to try to dig things out, but one player's down, so got to be careful there that we don't get any spearing calls. That one's off the glass, but Richard sends it right back the other way. Now Casey tries to put it off the boards to Fournette. Does Fournette have some room? He gets stick checked. Watch out. 3 players caught in deep. 3-on-2 brewing up. Way over to shot. Glove down as that was sailing high. As Roy didn't even give his teammate a chance. If he would have kept that one low, Tony might have got a rebound like last play where Worcester had to come up big. Another draw won by the Flyers. This shots on net, but glove down there in front by St. Clair. See, makes a nice glove save. He's able to skate it out of the zone. St. Clair now. D-to-D pass over to Millier. Millier looking for the stretch pass, and that goes through everybody, and that'll be an icing. Well, still 7:49 to go here, Tony. It feels like this period's been about 30 minutes.
Yeah, last night's game went by like a flash, but this period, for whatever reason, seems to be a little bit longer.
Another win by the Flyers. As this continues, this is good news for the Flyers. Hawks going to have to do a way better job on the draws here. Hawks definitely doing a better job being physical and getting that puck in down low. Flyers able to skate this one out. And Gaudette able to pull that one away. I thought he was going to light him up, but he snuck through him. Big hit there by Martin as he knocks his man over. And a shot from a sharp angle. Good save there by LeBlanc as he was looking behind him as that puck went up and over the net. Gaudette now going to skate that one through. He gets bumped as a Kitchen was coming right off, or coming on the ice. He may have got bruised a little there as
Might have got caught a little bit high there, yeah.
Agnew now has to send that one over to St. Clair. St. Clair up to Arsenault, who tries to chip it in deep. And now great speedy legs by the Cormier as he gets in there. As he works his way over to the other side, he's able to push his man off the puck. And now both teams fighting for it along the boards. Finally sneaks out to Cormier. Cormier, quick shot. Right in the breadbasket that time. And LeBlanc covers that up. Hawks able to win the draw. Millier fans on that shot, however. Cormier right back out front. Nobody was ready for that. We've seen that earlier in the year where we were sending passes out to the front of the net, but nobody had their stick on the ice ready for a shot. Easiest way to score a goal in front of the net is to be ready at all times and have your stick. Looking for passes or rebounds, tip-ins, all sorts. So he gets sent up the boards, and now the Flyers try to send it through the D as they got 3 men trying to battle 2D up there. Arsenault now back the other way. He takes a look to the far side. Passes there to Boudreau. Quick shot off the post. The rebound's in front of the net. Everybody collapsed to the net. But the puck sort of squirted its way out to the line. Great chance there by Boudreau as he comes back over again. Quick shot. That misses the net completely. And Millier has to sneak that one back in, and now Cormier working his way out. Quick shot. Sharp angle. He's back into the corner to pick it up, sends it back to Gadet. Gadet fires that one softly towards the net, which is blocked down. Now out towards the middle as Cormier tried to chip that one in. He sends it back, goes through both D. As icing's waved off. Now the stretch pass up to Cormier. Oh, sorry, Arsenault, who gives it to Cormier. Cormier tries to sneak his way by his man, but Saint-Onge says, not this time. And now, Hawks trying to move it up the boards. Finally, Casey over to McPherson. McPherson sends it back over and just misses his target, Casey. Casey back up high. That one goes off some skates and out of play as Robinson was trying to send that one in deep. Couple good chances there by the Hawks late. Both teams doing a good job overall, keeping people out of the middle of the ice. Flyers able to win the draw, but have nowhere to go as great pressure there by the Hawks. So force that back up to the line. There's a tip, and it's in front of the net, but it jumps over everyone's stick, and now the Flyers able to get that out. Right back in. Robinson sends it. And now McPherson, a second attempt. Finally, in front of the Flyers bench, it's dug out, but they call a hand pass. Well, ref's doing a really good job, I find, this time, Tony. The couple penalties that have happened, legit. I like that call where he took both people, and there's definitely been a couple good battles that he's let go, and just letting them play, calling the stuff that needs to be called, and letting them battle a little bit. And if it gets out of line, seems to warn them and talk to them and tell them what's going on. That one's centered out front. Puck's loose. Half a second as LeBlanc able to find it and pounce on that.
Clock says shots are 13-8 in favor of the Hawks so far.
Another win by the Flyers. Now up to the point, shot, but not much wood on that one from Agnew. St. Clair now sends that. That's deflected by Cornette Patterson wide. Flyers overskate that. They wrap it around the other side. Finally make that pass that's chipped out and behind the players as both players get back quickly as that one's just sent towards the net. Rainbow's up and over to the far side. Now Martin. That one gets chipped out to Kitchen. Right on. There's a rebound though. Backhand. And looks like Agnew was able to get his shin pad down on that to block that rebound attempt. Hey, but they overskate that one. Richard does a head check. Little reverse to Millier. Millier now going to look for the stretch pass. Arsenault looking to get up there. Great job as he gets his stick on it now. 2-on-1. Over to Arsenault. Quick shot. Goalie makes a nice little save as he tried to find the 5-hole. And that's a big save there by LeBlanc late in this period to hold this game to a 1-goal game. Flyers try to send that one through. Catch it on the other side. Oh, and that's Richard just getting taken down. Not much of an intentional penalty there. I think he was just trying to get his stick on the other side of Patrice, but in doing so, took his skates out. And that draws a penalty. as Bastrash will head to the penalty box for tripping. The Hawks will go on their first power play of the game. Face-off's big here. Hawks finally win one. Millier drops it back to Arsenault. Arsenault tries to get it down low, but his backhand attempt had no pepper on it. Millier sends that in deep, but that goes off a glove and stays up high. Well, Millier has to fight off a defender. He gets it over to Gaudette. Gaudette going to send that towards the middle. And the Flyers easily able to knock that one out. Now here comes Cormier finally. Clean entry as he works his way behind the net. Up to Millier. Millier back down to Cormier. Cormier's got a little room here. What's he going to do with it? He's going to walk around. He leaves it for Gaudette. Gaudette down low. Tries to send it into Boudreau. Boudreau. Arsenault sees Cormier, but just can't make the pass on the tape. Now Arsenault trying to wheel and deal around the net. He tries to send that out front. Great job by Kitchen as he's able to get his knee on that. Finally, the period comes to a close. Hawks find themselves up by 1 as they controlled a lot of the play in the Flyers zone, but the Flyers pressed a few times. So we're in a tight battle again. We'll take a 10 to 15 minute break and we'll catch you in the second. folks, we're back here for the second period. Hawks will start it off with just over a minute on the power play, as Bastrash got called for tripping just at the end of the first. Cormier back up to Arsenault. Arsenault down to Cormier. Cormier to Arsenault. Arsenault up high to Millier. Millier over to Gaudette. Back to Millier. Quick shot. There's a bouncing puck that ends up in the corner. They sort of got caught up in the pads of one of the Flyers players. There, Tony, we've seen Arsenault and Cormier working it back and forth to each other, finally getting up to Millier, but both of the Cormier and Arsenault both were staying at the side of the board, so nobody in front, even if that one would have got through. Millier now, he's got some traffic. There's Cormier. Tries to feed it back down low to Arsenault. That skips over his stick. And now Millier tries to stretch pass over to Cormier. Cormier, good heads up play by him as he sees his players going for a change, and that would have been offside. Now he elects to go for a change. Gaudette sends it back in deep as he cuts that pass off. Now Casey tries to drive that one towards the net. And skips back up to the line, but put in deep by Fournette. Stretch pass attempt goes through Belanger's stick. Richford back to stop it as he takes a look. We've seen a few times the last couple of games these goalies are going to have to be heads on a swivel when they stop the puck in behind the net. Flyers almost give that one away right in the middle as Casey again gets a second attempt to stop that in. Now he's going to work his way towards the net. Now behind the net, Casey gets caught up with the ref and his player, but he's still fighting for control. As both teams fight for it, that's flicked up as St. Clair and Smith battle back for it. St. Clair does the old flyby to disrupt Smith. Now he pumps him off the puck. Hawks now come out with it. Little give and go. That one just sneaks in behind McPherson. McPherson lays the body, so the Hawks continue their physical play here early. And the elusive Richard, who skates so well, looks like Paul Coffey, we said last broadcast. Along the boards, Flyers trying to chip it up, but Hawks creating lots of disturbance and everything they seem to be doing. Millier now, a little chip up to Martin. Martin tries to just flick it in, but now Rayfuse loses it in his skates. Oh, almost too many men on the ice there. As that one sails by the bench of the Flyers. Ends up being an icing call as just missed the change of the Flyers on the far side. Cormier has been good on the draw overall. The Hawks overall as a team have not been so well. Cormier wins that one back to Robinson. He sends it to Cormier, quick shot. I didn't know if he was going to pass that one or not, but he passed that one to Cormier. It was right in front of the net. Cormier back to try to disrupt that, along with Robinson. Another great job with the back check there by the Hawks. That one's in the skates. Boudreau, but he gets it over to Arsenault. Arsenault now with Cormier. Over to Cormier, quick shot. Oh, Cormier just misses. Great chance there again by the Hawks. Now sent right on the net. I don't know where the goalie was. He was outside the net. Never even noticed it. That one hits the skate and goes wide, but the whole net was open. I don't know if the goalie was picking up a stick on the side or what. Cormier now. Back up to Gaudette. Gaudette down to Cormier. Cormier turns and fires right in the breadbasket of LeBlanc. He'll settle things down. Well, it's been Hawks. Hawks and more Hawks this period. But they can't find the back of the net. As they...
Now we've seen this over the season there when the Hawks are hard on the forecheck, hard on the puck. They're a difficult team to play against.
However, can't seem to get that extra goal, and the game is anybody's tilt at this point. McPherson backs up Agnew as Agnew goes in for the bump. That one's going to be offside as McPherson tried to get that in deep and high, but puts it off Casey's shoulders. St. Clair has to get back, and far ref calling something here. Looks like a cross check. As Furnette's going to go to the box again. The Flyers will go on the power play for the second time. Furnette with his second penalty of the game. Good chance here for the Flyers to get back in this game. Hawks been dominating, haven't been able to put away a couple of their chances. Flyers looking to get on the board. Let's see what they can do here on this power play. Hawks able to get possession.
Hawks penalty.
Casey coming on strong, and the goalie muffles that one. Casey trying to get possession of that puck. All Flyers had to come back because 4 of them are back there trying to make sure they get that one. McPherson ends up getting in the way of that pass. Now Belanger picks it up on the other side. It's Belanger so good at seeing the ice. Looks for his target. That one scoots off his skate. Hawks able to send that back down. Kitchen leaves that for Siri. Siri gets caught up by Rayfuse, and Rayfuse flicks that down the ice. McPherson going to go for a change. Rayfuse now. Siri now enters the zone. As he cuts towards the middle, quick shot. Richford flicks that into the corner. And now from the point, Kitchen throws that. There's lots of traffic there as the puck just sort of stuck to the sticks of the Hawks and the Flyers. Finally cleared away by the Hawks. They try to send that to the middle, and Martin able to get a backhander to clear the zone. Kitchen now joins in on the rush as he looks to fire his hard shot, but he gets bumped by Millier. And now from the slot, oh, great chance there by Melanson, but Kitchen's down as he took the brunt of that hit by Millier as he jumped up there to...
Did you get that sequence when you got it?
Yeah, I think so.
You can't. Oh, you can't. You want it?
Hawks now come out with it. Give and go. That one just sneak. Kitchen still slow to get up here, but finally making his way to his feet. Two big bodies collide there. Kitchen was setting up for that shot in that high slot, and Millier able to catch him while he was getting ready to fire that puck. Flyers win the draw. And able to get control here as the Hawks, again, able to flick it the length of the way. 15 seconds to go here. Rayfuse flying down and trying to get that puck. Puts it off the bar. Oh, here's another. We got a lot of flurry of action now. Flyers all coming at Rayfuse after that. Not sure what's going to happen, if Rayfuse is going to get a couple, or if I was a betting man, I would say Rayfuse gets 4 out of that and the Flyers get 2. But we'll see here soon. As Rayfuse gets the tripping call, sort of the similar call that happened with Bastrash earlier, where he was going for the puck but took the skates out.
Yeah, you're right. That's what's being called. The trip and offsetting minors for rough.
So it looks like the Flyers are going to have a 5-on-3 for 9 seconds. So, needless to say, they got Cormier out there who's done a terrific job on the draw. This draw will be absolutely crucial. You'll want to win this one and send it down the ice to get that 4th man back on. And then they're right back to a kill again. But if the Flyers can win this one and set things up, Flyers get possession. There's Belanger now trying the wraparound. And they get possession now. Fournette's gonna go across the way, so Flyers still gonna have some time here, but can the Hawks get to it and get a man in time? Finally, St. Clair able to dig that puck up. They got 4 on, but they're unable to clear. That one's chipped towards the net. Richford had to be careful there, as I don't think he's seen it. He was able to get a stick on it finally. Cleared the length of the way, and the Hawks can settle things down and get in position.
For roughing. Time of the penalty, 13:15.
Cormier now tries to pressure Dion to make that pass. Belanger now being chased by Boudreau, and now Cormier comes over, and he's able to stick check that away. And Cormier does a great job here. As he enters back into the zone to kill some precious time. He fires that the length of the ice. And here's a chance for Boudreau. He's speedy. Gonna get to that puck first. He's gonna drive the net. Great chance there. So if you want to continue to drive, you want to continue your feet moving there, and hopefully they take your feet out and draws a penalty. Here's a chance. As they walk in the slot, Richford comes up big, rebound. As the good chances here by the Flyers have come on their power play attempts, but 25 seconds still to go here. And the Flyers' 2nd penalty in a row. Stretch pass up to Brownwater. She loses that in her feet. Sends that back down to Roy. Roy tries to chip that up. And it's left for Brownwater. Brownwater now enters the zone. And she takes a shot. Richford gloves that down. And finally, Patterson going to get to it and fire that down the ice. And it looks like the ref is calling 2 other players. He doesn't like what he's seeing. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Like you mentioned, though, he's talking to the coaches, saying what he likes and doesn't like. So
I think what happened here is the penalty expired and Rayfuse came out of the box. And I think Rayfuse can't come out until the whistle. So the puck will come outside. But Rayfuse is back in the box, even though that penalty is over. So his original penalty is over, but I think he needs to stay for 2 more minutes after the whistle to serve that extra roughing penalty that he got. You'll have to pull the rule book out on me on that one, Tony, but I believe that's what's happening, is he can't serve 2 2-minute penalties at the same time.
yeah, we've talked about that before. Those 4 minutes get confusing.
Flyers there are trying to move in towards the middle. And here's a chance for the Hawks, but they overskate it. So we're back to 5-on-5, but again, Rayfuse stays in the box for his 2nd penalty, even though that it is expired, because he was already getting the original. Roy now sends that up, but that's off the mark, but chipped in. As Millier now back to pick it up. Sends it to Fournette. Fournette tries to chip it up to Cornette Patterson. Now along the boards, both teams fighting to get it out. Finally the Hawks able to sneak that out. Cross ice pass to Millier. Millier fires that right on. And now pressure by the Hawks as Fournette able to create a turnover now behind the net as he turns to try to fire. There's a chance. Oh, that's right on. Good save there by LeBlanc. As again, the Hawks unable to put that second goal in the net. As Vallée and Fournette have a little chat. We've seen this before where teams just linger and stick around. The Hawks just unable to stick the dagger in the back of the Flyers here. The Flyers' success has been coming on the power play. But the Hawks 5-on-5 have been overall dominating, but just unable to get that crucial second goal. That one's flicked down the ice and get it. Able to knock that down. Pass is missed, and Cormier coming with a head of steam as he comes down the ice. Another pass off the marker there as that's sent all the way. That'll looks like it'll be icing, and it is. Well, again, Tony, I looked up at the score clock thinking we were going to be down to about 2 minutes left in this period, and we still got 10 minutes to go here. First period, second period just seemed to linger along here. Moncton jumps in a little too early, and that kicks out the Flyers. But he's the one taking the draw now, so the Hawks trying to say needs to be someone else as Smith comes in. Smith on Cormier. Cormier's been good. Wins it cleanly. Robinson over to Gadet. Gadet walks in, quick shot. He looks for it. It's loose. It's in the net. As the rebound. Miscue. Finally found and picked up by the Hawks player waiting on the side of the net, and they're finally able to sneak one past LeBlanc, who's made a couple nice saves. Keep his team in the mix. Now the Flyers are over talking to the referee here. Talking about something. I think maybe they were trying to say that they had that covered. Trying to make an argument that the puck was covered and dislodged by maybe one of the Hawks players.
And just to note there, Kitchen's back on the ice here, so after that collision earlier on.
You know, I like that by the Flyers, even though that he may have not changed his mind about that goal. If something similar happens again in the game, by going over to the ref and talking and trying to make a case, regardless of whether it was right or wrong, it might help you for the next one. Yep. Great big body there by Boudreau. The Hawks just missed a great attempt there on that 2-on-1 as well. Hawks are flying again as Cormier comes, tries to center it over to Boudreau off a skate. Battle in the corner now as Hawks got to be careful here as they got 3 guys against the board. Want to keep one guy up high. For the high side anyway. Cormier still fighting for it. Finally sneaks that way out to St. Clair. Quick shot. And that gets blocked down. Shot the length of the way for an icing. Raythews finally out of the box, so it looks like it might have been 4 minutes that he had to spend in that box after the original 2-minute penalty.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read up on how that all works out.
Well, it kind of makes sense. If you get 2 2-minute penalties, you can't serve them at the exact same time. So he probably served his first 2 minutes and then had to wait for 2 minutes after that for the whistle to expire to get out there. Hawks try to center it, looking for some scraps in front of the net, but Flyers take that away.
But it does provide an advantage to the other team's offsetting minor.
Quick
Because
shot,
they also
down by
have
Richford.
They also have to wait for a whistle, and that expires before he starts his second of the same offsetting minor, right? So if he were to serve the offsetting minor first, at the same time as the other player, and then the subsequent 2, which finishes at 2 minutes, right?
Jesus, Tony, you're talking calculus to me, and I didn't do too well at calculus. Richford pounces on that as that bounces towards the net right off the draw. And Vallée in the mix, trying to heat things up. Trying to draw a penalty. It his team back in this game. Hawks able to win this draw. Really back, he fans on the puck. He tries to get it up to Rayfuse. Late hitting attempt by Valet as he came across and swung at Millier. Valet throwing the body again. He's trying to spark his team in any way possible. Dion knocks that in, but that's a high stick, but touched by the Hawks. Martin now picks that up. He skates through the neutral zone. He dumps that in. He stood up, but tries to go right through his man. And now the pass to Siri as Siri sends it back over to Belanger. And that's going to be offside. And Siri tried to stretch the leg to give his player a little bit of time, but one move too many. Gives it to Melanson, who chips it in, but Flyers' second attempt. Smith able to pick up that loose puck. He's driven into the boards. Four-man scramble. Flyers come out with it. They turn and fire. And Richford gloves that down, as that was coming up awkwardly towards his face.
Good crowd here, Jamie, on a cold Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, here at the Uniplex seems to draw a bigger crowd than the Moncton home games. I'm sure the players enjoy having the bigger crowds. And now a big hit there by Casey as he has a little chatter after the hit on Melanson. Now Owen gets crushed, and that's going to be a major as he caught him with his head down. Everybody's in there. Owen cross-checks across the head, though. That might get him. He's in a headlock now. And now Melanson's involved. And those are the hits we try to avoid 100%. As Owen was coming behind the net, and he was crushed. There's no way you can miss a kid's head when you come in like that with his head down. Expect something here, but Owen got up right away too and threw that cross check across the head. So I expect some damage from him as well. And now Melanson comes by, gives McPherson a little tap behind the shin pads as he looks to continue. As it looks like the second year's trying to pick on the first year's here. I like it. Trying to draw any kind of temperament.
Well, we've seen Melanson there get hit in the offensive zone. Didn't like that one too much, and
then he skated from behind the Hawks blue line all the way down, and that's definitely a charging if nothing else. McPherson was a little taller. He might have took a little bit more brunt of that, but I think he went into the belly other than the hands. He was so low. We don't mind a little bit of bad blood, but when sticks come flying up by the heads, both teams there, we don't want to see that stuff here. Enough players have been out throughout the year. We don't need more with the crazy antics. Nonetheless, they're young men here learning to navigate their new chemical testosterone flowing through their bodies. And the refs got their little book out here as they're going to need it. There's lots of stuff to go over and talk about here. expect a couple big penalties. Well, a couple of games this year, Tony, have reminded me of the old high school days. You see a little bit of rough stuff then. And even though we're only U15 AAA action here, there's been a few games Flyers been involved with Mirror Machine and a couple good battles where lots of bodies ended up into the penalty box, and reminds you of good old high school hockey in a way.
Like I said, it's new flows of testosterone, and nobody wants to back down from anybody. So this is what you get sometimes.
Still 7:03 to go in this second period.
Seems we have a decision.
We're just over the halfway mark of this game. We still got half more of this to go.
A couple of kids out here.
And it looks like Melanson, McPherson, like I said, both being thrown out. Melanson for that big hit, but McPherson for that cross check across the head. So with two players being thrown out here, expect two more players to have to serve in the box for each team. The Flyers do have one call-up that I've noticed. But again, before this game started, they were missing 3. But in saying that, Morgan Groundwater was brought up to replace Jackson Steves, which would have made them have 11 forwards. So technically, they would have been just down 2 players. So each ref takes a bench as they explain all the drama that just unfolded here.
Well, Nick Kitchen managing the clock here is earning that 50-50 win with all the work he's having to do.
Yeah, he won with the numbers on the ticket, and he's working the numbers down there in the box this afternoon.
Well, we got the power play unit coming out for the Hawks.
Demier made his way over to go in the box for Kobe Melanson. Nobody in the box for the Hawks, so maybe what they're saying there is he's just thrown out of the game. So nobody has to serve the penalty for McPherson, but where Melanson took the initial penalty and then got thrown out of the box, maybe Roy is serving there. No, Smith is coming out now. I'm not sure what's going on here, Tony, but we'll hear about it soon. Looks like Smith is heading to the locker room as well. Now I know there was lots of action transpire after that, but it looks like 2 players thrown out from the Flyers side and 1 from the Hawks. So power play here for the Moncton. There's an open net, but he doesn't get all of it there, as Arsenault would like to have that one back.
Yeah, I'm sure.
As he tried to take a swing at that one, it was more of a foul ball. Cormier unable to win the draw this time. Kitchen wraps it all the way around. Gaudette picks it up on the other side. Over to Millier. Millier now down to Arsenault. Arsenault tries to hit Cormier in the slot. He fans on his shot. Now Arsenault and Boudreau working along the boards. Boudreau. Gaudette. Millier shot through traffic. LeBlanc able to find that. And Millier's got to chase back. He's going to have a little time as Belanger goes for a change.
The number 15, Kobe Malotson, 5-minute major for charging in a game misconduct.
Hawks now try to settle things down in the Flyers zone. There's Arsenault. Over to Millier. Millier's got a lane over to Gaudette, who was looking to sneak down. There's a quick shot. Oh, great little blocker save there on Cormier LeBlanc. Now a shot from the point again, straight through Millier. And another one from the point. Lots of traffic in front. Sneaks its way past LeBlanc. He's made a couple dandy saves to keep his team somewhat in this game, but he can't do it alone. Five-on-five action. That one's won by the Hawks. Now a couple DVD passes are skipping the sticks of each other's players. Now here come the Hawks, trying to work their way around Fournette. Quick shot. And the goalie gets a little piece of that, I believe. There's a shot from behind on Casey as he's pushed into the boards on the numbers, but I think the refs have called too many penalties to call another one. So as long as he got up okay, they weren't going to let that one go, and I don't blame him with all the action that's been happening. There's another chance. There's a pass out front to Cornette Patterson. Oh! St. Clair gets hammered down by Kitchen. The drama's not over, as Kitchen's going to go to the box. And he slams the boards, and good thing they allow him to not take another penalty for that action, as Kitchen's such a big force, but sometimes he hurts his team with penalties, as he's going to need to control his emotions going forward this year. There's a few of those players in the league. They're so valuable to their team, but not in the penalty box. The best way to get back at a team is to get that puck to the back of their net, not heading to the box again. And giving the Hawks another power play here, as Fournette, Patterson, Casey lead the way on this one. Richard able to keep that one in. He sends it over to St. Clair. Quick shot. That seemed to have tipped off a stick in front and go wide. Richard now shot. That's off another stick and up and over the net. Casey picks it up behind the net.
Oxford goal scored by number 52.
Back up to St. Clair. St. Clair over to Richard.
By number 91, center Fournette.
Richard moves to the middle, sends it down low, but Fournette can
Flyers
handle
penalty,
that.
number 28, Wyatt Kitchen. 2 minutes for roughing.
Richard, Casey. Casey under duress here. He's going to have to get that in deep. Sends it all the way across. St. Clair has a chance to walk in and snipe that one. Oh! Great chance there as they looked for a rebound. Hawks able to control the pace here. They keep it in. Richard, he's got it locked up in his feet. Fournette Patterson now Moves his way around up to St. Clair. St. Clair tries to send that to those skates. There's Fournette. Oh, ho, ho. He went to the far side. Probably should have took the close side. He had lots of net to play with there. As Fournette still looks to get on the board from his few game absence. 25 seconds to go here in the Hawks power play. Cormier skates in as he looks to fake on the short side, gets it back up to the point. Now Millier sends it to the slot to Cormier. Now, player going to be coming out in 5 seconds. Hawks going to have to control the play here. They get it up to Millier, skips through, and Richford was pounding on his stick, but Millier comes back and able to get that one away and shot attempt there. They try to poke it through. Now behind the net, lots of action. Puck's loose in front of the net. Picked up by the Hawks. There's Cormier now. Able to wheel and deal his way through neutral zone. Try to get a backhand. That sails wide. And now Millier, smart play, stays back as he was the last defender there. If that would have snuck through him. Flyers doing all they can to hold this one into the zone. Finally sneaks out. Millier tries to fire that one out. As Belanger was encroaching on him, but Belanger ends up with the puck now. He gets bumped, but trying to make a play. Now at the line, Kitchen reverses that one down low. Millier up to Boudreau. Boudreau trying to get that one up to his man. Finally Arsenault now driving towards the net. Little shot towards the net, looking for the deflection was Boudreau. And now Cornette Patterson looking for the deflection out front. He tries to pass that one, goes through everybody. Lots of action here by the Hawks as the Arsenault is being held. Now a shot in front, lots of bodies. Great job getting bodies in front of the net. Finally here, it's the Hawks. Robinson tries to fire that one in. He doesn't get much wood on it. He's able to poke that one back. Flyers now try to stretch past that through the neutral zone. Now Bastrash trying to make a move. Past Cadet. He stops that. Stretch pass. Blocked away by Robinson. Kitchen jumps in. Able to create a little havoc here along the line, but finally the Hawks again almost skate through. Here's a chance as the Flyers got a lane, but great job there by Cormier getting back. That's not his first time with a great back check. Now, shot from far, rebound, picked up by the Hawks there as Siri was looking for some scraps in front of the net. And he would have been all alone, but great job picking that loose puck up by the Hawks. 46 seconds to go here in this first period. Flyers looking to try to get something going here. Hawks doing a great job just being aggressive. Forecheck and on the back check. Hawks able to win that draw in their own zone. Now they try to send it up the boards. Cormier now gloves that down. He sends that in deep. Cormier gets his own dump in on the far side. Cormier tries to hold that in. As they chip it up, here's a good chance here for Siri as he tries to move in, but the big body of Millier, just a little too much for Siri that time. Cormier now slows things down as he tries to send that towards the middle. And now Fournette along the boards. He gets picked by the ref, and here come the Hawks. With 6 seconds to go. One last attempt, but that's offside. As Siri decides to pull one extra move. And that's one extra move too many. 2.1 to go here in the second period. The Hawks finally able to find the back of the net as the Flyers get themselves into a little penalty trouble. Hawks able to capitalize. Flyers are going to have to go into this intermission, regroup, and come back and do some of the ABCs of the game if they're going to find their way back into this game. So lots of action in that second period. We'll take another quick break and we'll catch you for the third. Folks, welcome back to the third period. 5-on-5 action. Your Hawks are up 4-0. One of the big things we were talking about over the intermission is sometimes when you get a little bit of a goal lead, you got to watch out for these extracurricular activities where a tournament's coming up. You don't want these players to get involved in the shenanigans where they miss out on a couple games. As I'm sure 2 of the players thrown out tonight. There's a giveaway in the slot. Quick save by Richford as he had to be sharp in the first minute of this one. Another giveaway. Quick shot deflected wide. And it looks like whatever the Flyers had for a snack during the intermission, it seems to be working here early. As the Hawks are sleeping now. Centering pass, and that's cut away by Rayfuse. Now Rayfuse, got to be careful here as the Hawks almost get caught with too many men. No foul there. As here comes Vallée with a nice little move to go wide, but can he get that puck? No, it sticks on him. And it sticks on Gaudette as well. As Gaudette turns and tries to get that up to Martin, but it clears the line. It'll give the Hawks a little bit of time here to clear. And now Gaudette will just trickle that in deep. And just like the first period, LeBlanc plays that first wrap in, back around. Flyers deep in their zone looking for some outlets here. As they try to flick that up. And here comes Bastrash over to Melanza. Melanza, quick shot. Richford steers that aside. Now Casey on the boards. Gets some help by Cormier. Cormier tries to go through the feet. He stood up. And Saint-Onge. And now Cormier picks it up, fires it in. Lots of traffic there as Fournette looking for a hold on his stick. Not going to get one there as Dion was attached to him at the hip. Casey now trying to work it back and forth, gets it in deep. Centering pass goes through the zone, and now Richard picks it up. Looking to draw some players into the middle, but didn't like what he's seen, so continued his way around the net. Casey along the side, moves it up to Millier. He fans on it. Here's a great chance for the Flyers. Can they get a chance? One-on-one battle here, though, as he's stood up. The Flyers could have had a 2-on-1 there, but after he made the pass, he decided to go for a change. Flyers again through the neutral zone as Bélanger. A shot that deflects up high over the net. Centering attempt ends up in a giveaway by the Flyers as the Hawks have a 3-on-1 brewing up. Can they make something happen? Quick shot, scores! Snipe there by Boudreau as he finds the short side high. Hawks able to win that draw, get it up, get it in deep. Now Fournette Patterson there trying to shake things up. Arsenault.
Hawks goal scorer number 10, Philip Boudreau. Assisted by number 9.
Agnew able to scoop that up and center and send it in deep. And Agnew's
Hit from behind by Vallée, who's getting called on it.
Well, Vallée's been a little bit of stick of dynamite here in the second period. He was trying to rally his troops up there with a little bit of physicality, which is great to see a first-year player trying to take the reins and lead by example, but there he gets caught for the interference call. It looks like he'll serve 2 minutes and the Hawks will go back on the power play. Up to the point.
Flyers penalty
Agnew
number
puts it in deep.
27, Vincent Vallée. 2 minutes, for interference.
Now, St. Clair over to Agnew. Agnew tries to send it over to Arsenault. St. Clair back to Arsenault. Arsenault shoots. Oh! Like it deflected, but I think that went off the goalie and then just took a funny trickle to the far side. Arsenault tries to walk right into the middle. He gets stood up, puts it back to Agnew. Agnew being yelled at his coach to move around. He's in no place to do anything. Now Boudreau tries to center it out. Rebound attempt blocked. As Arsenault tried to sneak in there. Now over to Agnew. Picks it up with his foot. Sends that in deep. Now back up front, quick shot. Oh, there's a rebound there. As Fournette. Sorry, Boudreau looking to sneak that one in, but he couldn't get all his stick's weight on that one. Now Arsenault over to St. Clair. Back over to Agnew. A little bit too much passing here. Let's get it up high and move it down low like a couple of the goals that have happened here as of late. Now Patterson puts it in deep as the Hawks go for a change. I would have liked to see them back that up into their own zone while they change and maintain control. But again, with a 5-0 lead, putting it in deep is never a bad option. Casey with a couple little moves, but finally stood up at the end. Rayfuse, Casey, and Martin working the power play this time. Guedette. Robinson down low. Richford tapping his stick on as they're going to have to be careful here as their man comes out of the box. And here's the chance they're looking for as they send it up. And that was going to be attempted to be picked up by Vallée, but it sails into the bench of the Hawks.
Shots are 30-20 for the Hawks.
See all the players behind the Hawks goalie that are out of this game but are all dressed here. We'll get a shot of that in a little bit here as Guedette's got to be careful. Two Flyers coming down on him. And now that's Smith, who was back in the game but who ended up leaving. Last time was sent to the dressing room, but now seems to be back on the ice. 4 players there behind goaltender Jaden Richford, trying to do their best to steer him off his game.
And our Hawks players out of this game are sitting over there.
Hawks try to go straight through off that draw. And here's a chance for the Flyers, but Richford gloves that down. So Cornette Patterson on his backhand this time, unable to win the draw. Roy fans on that puck. And a second ditch attempt by Smith. Able to keep that puck in. And now as the puck jumps around the zone, finally Brownwater sends it in deep. Morgan gets in there trying to hold that in as that puck sails up into the air. A battle at the blue line. And finally that puck chips up in the air and out of the zone of the Hawks. Stretch pass attempt goes through Smith's stick and all the way down the ice, and that'll be an icing. Cormier on the draw. St. Clair. Agnew back up high. And that's battle in the corner. Lots of sticks flaring for control here. Finally able to sneak that out. And Belanger trying to look for a pass, but that sails through everybody. Finally, Cormier gets bumped there by Kitchen as Cormier tried to send it out to Fournette for a fast break. And right there, Tony, those are big hits, but those are legal hits. Those are the hits we want to see. Here's a odd man rush here as they try to sail that across, but St. Clair able to get his stick on that. Break up that attempt by the Flyers. Cormier on the forecheck now. Casey, stretch pass off a leg. St. Clair sends that in deep. Casey again on the forecheck. He's been good. He tries to center that, but that goes through everybody. There was some sticks there for the attempt. Gaudette now all alone. He's just going to send that one towards the net, but that chips up over. And now the Flyers fast man break here. Series got some wheels, but stick checked at the last second as the Hawks continue to do a great job keeping everything away from the middle of the net. Flyers just sail that out of the zone and down the ice. Does it have enough steam? No. No icing there. That one's sent all the way. The linesman calls it a little chip there as Flyers player looked to get involved. So icing waved off, but the Flyers still under duress in their own zone here. Finally moved up the boards. And the Flyers come through the neutral zone. Nice little pass there, but knocked away. Flyers regroup again. That pass is off the mark from Morgan. And now, St. tries to give Cornette Patterson a big hit. St. took the brunt of that one. Wrap-around attempt there is looked like Boudreau tried to bank it off the goalie more so than a wraparound. Millier stretch pass up to Arsenault, tried to get it to Richard, jumping in on the play, but they're stripped of the puck, and here come the Flyers. As the shot attempt by Bastrash was no good. Flyers again come through the neutral zone as Belanger tries to fire a shot. Richford steers that aside. Arsenault takes a hit, but pass is still in deep here for the Flyers as they work the puck along the boards. Rayfuse trying to come in for support. Rayfuse, big body, able to kick that out of the zone. Rayfuse turns and fires that in deep. Back to retrieve it is Roy. Roy unable to make his pass, but Seary picks it up on the other side. Agnew DDD pass up to St. Clair. St. Clair doesn't like what he sees. Finally up to Rayfuse. And the Flyers able to get right back on that puck as they've been doing a lot better job here in the last few minutes controlling the puck play. That one shot through everybody this time, and that'll be an icing. So the Flyers still not giving up here. They're trying to get that first goal if they can. With 9:24 to go, you know they want to get at least one on the board. Flyers able to win that draw. Kitchen now behind the net. Morgan across the line. She chips it in. She tries to chase it on the other side. Tries to knock it over for her partner, but her partner went to the front of the net. Finally, that one's shot from a far distance as it sort of snuck through everybody. Richford had to kick that one out. Flyers again controlling the play here as they try to center it. Richford knocks that away with his goal stick. Agnew now sends that behind the net to his partner, St. Clair. St. Clair, nice little move as he's being stick checked there. Finally, a little breathing room as he sends that across to Agnew. Agnew almost gives that away right in the middle of the ice. Couple passes here by the Hawks in the third period through the zone. Belanger, still dangerous as he's one of the top goal scorers. He moves in, tries to pass that one. Now Kitchen trying to hold that one in. He gets taken down. He knocks Martin into the rep there. St. Clair back down to Gaudette. Gaudette back to St. Clair. St. Clair tries to stretch that one out to Fournette. Fournette up to Cormier, but that hops off his stick. A little bit of a pick play. They're letting them go though. No interference call. Now along the boards. Back up to the point. Robinson from the shot, and it's makes its way through, but LeBlanc able to find that.
Well, we're not afraid to call out rest when we feel that it's not going too well, but I have to give them credit today. I think they've managed the game quite well.
100%. Last game, like I said, it may have been the same outcome here where the Hawks have been playing a similar style, but with all the penalties, there was no flow to that game. And obviously the second period got the Flyers into a little trouble with all those penalties. But they've definitely let a little bit go and have called the stuff that they need to call to keep this from getting out of hand. But the Flyers have come on strong here in the third. It's not over yet as they do all they can. There's a broken stick as Siri puts his head down in shame, as we know how much those things cost. Now from out front, looking for the centering one-time pass, but stick check. Here's Gaudette now, and that's deflected right on as the Hawks do a great job there getting in front of the net. Looks like a new Bauer Pulse from here. Maybe a Christmas gift, maybe not. Let's hope so, because
30-day warranty would still be in effect.
Should be a 6-month warranty minimum, at least for the price we pay these days. But all these boys purchase sticks like women buy sweaters at Aritzia. Need every color, every new model. And here's a battle for it here as the call up there races. Try to hold that puck in. Number 14, I'm not sure exactly who that is. Is that Lucan Malley? Is the call up here, so he did a good job there, turning on the Jets for what he could do to hold that puck in momentarily. Now behind the net, the Hawks trying to strike again with that quick little sneak pass up front. That goes all the way through. Richford's going to be under duress as he's going to not play that. The skates are taken out. No call. We've seen that call a couple times. Here's a great chance. Oh, that could have been the dagger, as that created a chance. Usually when they're taken out, they're not done yet. Nice little move. Here's out front. Richford's got a pounce on as he drops the stick and covers it with his blocker. The Flyers are done. They want a little redemption here. At least one. We've seen that call called twice here tonight. Exact same play where the skates have been taken out from the player on both sides, and both of them have been called, but that one let go. Maybe because of the scoreboard, Tony?
Could be, could be. I'd like to see that one call. A little bit dangerous heading into the corner board.
Not only that, but it created a great scoring chance there as, again, the Flyers try to create something there.
Yeah, I agree.
Now a chance out front, but good job by the Flyers player there to tie up his man in front of the net. And here's Siri, the captain, trying to work his way in, and they're going to call a penalty on that. Don't be surprised if you see a penalty shot with the way the score is. Let's see what he says. Is it going to be a tripping? Even though it should probably only have been a trip, it's a hold. And that's sort of what I was talking about earlier, Tony, where Boudreau had a similar chance in the second, but Siri just put his body down and drove towards the net, and he was forced forced a penalty, where Boudreau forced that shot early knowing he couldn't get it, but sometimes you just want to keep driving that net and see if you can get a penalty out of it. So the Flyers, they're pushing the Hawks this period. Maybe not on the scoreboard, but this period's been
Moncton Hawks penalty
going the Flyers' way overall.
2 minutes for holding. Time to the
That
penalty.
one sneaks its way out past Santonges. He tried to block that from getting out. Now 3 Flyers all in the same area here. And Martin comes across to try to disrupt everything. Sent down the way, and here comes Rayfuse. Rayfuse now trying to angle his man. With an O'Malley now up. He gets the nice stretch pass as he comes across. And he's taken down. It's going to go to a 5-on-3. That's the exact same call we just seen for the 4th time. And this one's called, but the last one wasn't. And I think that's an indication of the score, as the Flyers are going to have a minute 19 with a 5-on-3 here to climb their way back in the game. Now that one, Tony, I would have liked to seen left alone, like just because they missed that other one. You can't be picking and choosing. Flyers able to win the draw. Let's see how aggressive the Hawks can be here to try to kill this. There, that one hops over. He's at
Hawks
was
penalty
still.
number 12, Patrice Richard. 2 minutes for tripping. Time to penalty 4:27.
There's Morgan Groundwater trying to work her way in, and Richford will jump on that. And the Flyers, they'll get a chance to win the draw here and try to set something up. Ilya tries to wrap that around. Will it make it out, or can he get there in time? He does, Roy, but great job there by Cormier, as he's been speedy the last few games. You just notice him buzzing around, as he's definitely improved his foot speed. He's just involved everywhere now. But Angers now tries to center it over. Here's a great chance, but that sails up and over the net by Bastrash. And now Cormier unable to get that out. And the Flyers going to maintain control here with the 5-on-3. As here's a chance for a cross pass picked up by Cormier. And Cormier is just going to gain the line here. No, he's going to send it back to try to kill some more time, as Millier now tries to hold on to it. That's stripped away. As the Hawks have to be careful here, but they get one man out as they got 40 seconds. That one squirts over the glass and just misses a couple fans. As they're going to have to retrieve a new puck. 36 seconds to go. And Richard penalty. Hawks got one man back out, 5-on-4. Great job there for that 5-on-3, Tony, with the Hawks being really aggressive there, getting involved and taking away passing. Sometimes when you try to overplay stuff, players think on a 5-on-3, they just look for too many options instead of keeping it simple. But they still got a chance here, but Fournette doing all he can to disrupt. And here the coach just saying down the ice, he doesn't want those boys playing with it in their own zone. Fournette now chips it in. And now, I don't like that play there by Cornette Patterson, as he sends it right up in the middle. It should have got that caught in his feet, killed time, but here come the Flyers now back to 5-on-5. They get it back up to the point. Send it in deep. Try to catch it on the other side, but Kitchen gets bumped. Can he get it in deep enough? They get some work to do there as that puck jumps up in the air. And here's Cornette Patterson now trying to sail it over to Arsenault. Can he get around? He tried to go through the feet, but there's a chance by the loose Fournette as he tried to jump on that loose puck. That was overskated by Arsenault. Robinson now tries to chip that back. That's worked up, sent to the cross ice here to Fournette. I'd like to see that one in deep here, just kill the rest of this clock. Here's a chance. That's deflected, picked up. So Hawks down to the last few minutes of the game here. As Robinson gets shooken up and now back up to the point. Here's a shot, looking for a tip. There's a loose puck. Richford the save. Oh, another great save as he had to stretch out. He's going to have to earn it. It's not over yet as the Flyers now move in again. Here's a odd man rush. No, Richford will cover that one.
Great save in the last minutes of the game.
1:06 to go here. The shots are getting closer as 29 to 33. Hawks still up by 4, but like I said, the Flyers have been doing all they can to stay in this period and outplaying the Hawks this period nonetheless. Big draw again, won by the Flyers, but that sneaks out. Nope. They decide to say he held that one in. That one sails all the way around, and a lot of snow there. Will it stop it? No. It's going to be an icing. 53.4 seconds to go in the game. Rayfuse, Barton, Fournette Patterson out. Rayfuse has been physical today. Also noticed him doing some good job working that puck in his own zone and moving his feet real quick today. He's been a force out there. But a lot of the Hawks have been a force today, so hard to pick up on one. There's a back D-to-D pass that's almost picked off. So Hawks trying to get that one out, and they fail to do so, and here comes Groundwater. She stood up, however, and Millier going to jump in on the rush. You know how I feel about the last minute of defenseman jumping in on the rush. But there's 21 seconds to go. That one's offside. Hawks win that one cleanly. D-to-D pass. Millier now sends that up. And Rayfuse unable to tip that in deep, but the Flyers move it in deep themselves. They try to move it up the boards. There's going to be one last ditch attempt here. Millier is going to take that one. 5 seconds to go here. And Millier looks like he'll turn and fire, and that'll kill it. Richford gets the shutout with his new gear.
Good way to christen the new gear.
And the Hawks able to win back-to-back games against their arch rival, the Flyers. Their next games will be at the Ice Jam in Halifax as they leave to start that process on Wednesday. Great 2 wins here by the Hawks. Hawks win this one an old-fashioned 5-0 win as they were able to take control on all the power play chances in the second. Like always, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at the Ice Jam.
7:15 on Wednesday, our first game.
First game will be Wednesday night. Thanks again. See you soon.